So when I made that decision, now I'm going to show you exactly what I seen 24 years ago. I hope it makes as much sense to you as it did for me. But just be open-minded. Your mind's like a parachute. It only works when it opens. Is that fair? So here we go, and we'll go pretty quickly. The first thing is Think and Grow Rich. I had a multi-billionaire give me a book called Think and Grow Rich. Now, I know a lot of you might not hang around with billionaires. Neither did I. I worked for one. And when he heard I got put on workman's comp, he gave me this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, please listen to this. If a billionaire gives you a book, and I know that I'm not a billionaire, but if you're new in this room and you haven't read this book, do me a favor. Please read the book. It's a really small book, and believe it or not, this book right now is one of the top 5 selling books of all times. It was written in the 1930s. Now listen to this. Andrew Carnegie was the wealthiest person at the time, and today he would be worth over $100 billion, 3 times more than Bill Gates. And what he did is he hired a little cub reporter named Napoleon Hill to basically write this book. He got him interviews with the wealthiest 500 people of that time. Now think about this. J.C. Penney's, Woolworth, Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt, queens, kings. And he did interviews with these people, and it took him 30 years to do all the interviews, and then he put it in a book. And they had 3 things in common. 3 things. How many people want to know what those 3 things are? Get the book. No. No. I'm going to give you them today, okay? But bottom line in this book is pretty amazing some of this stuff from the book. The first thing that is said in the book, and listen to this one. I'm reading through it, and it says you do not have to be intelligent to be successful. That's why it's my favorite book. The first principle is called OPI, other people's ideas. How many people know that, you look at some of the stuff that's sold out there. Starbucks did not invent coffee. Okay? McDonald's did not invent the hamburger. Henry Ford did not invent the automobile. So all he did is very simply said that Mercedes invented the automobile, brought it over to the United States, and made a lot of them. How many people in this room know where General Motors came from? 3 executives came to Henry Ford and said, listen, they're black. You're just building black cars. And he says, listen, if it's not broke, don't break it. And so these 3 executives said, we're getting all kinds of complaints and letters saying, can't you make a car in white, red, and blue? The American flag? And he said, no. So they started their own company called General Motors. Anyone want to guess what they colored the cars? Red, white, and blue. They took the same idea and just made it a little better. Just like, MSN was the first search engine. Then came Yahoo, then came Google. Do you think that everything in the world upgrades like this? Yes, absolutely. There's always someone coming out with a better idea. The other thing on this book is how many people knew that 3% of the people employ the other 97%. This is a big issue right now in America. Why? Because how many people know that now that Obama's in office, and let me not go on a tangent here, but you know what? Whether you like him or not, would you please pray for him? Please? I mean, he's going to need it. He already needs it. But the bottom line is he's going to make new taxes on the people that make over $200,000 a year. And it came out that guess how many people in the United States make over $200,000? 3%. Interesting, huh? So how many people would like to figure out how to slide into that 3%? Here's the first thing the book says. Don't listen to people that are in the 97. Ding! Because some of you are going to watch this, and the first thing you're going to do is go back to people that are the 97%ers and go, what do you think? And they're going, I don't think you should do it. You'll go, okay. And you wonder why things continue to stay the same. It's ridiculous. So OPI, let me share with you. Very simply, a guy comes up with a great idea. An entrepreneur. How many people in this room have a job? You work for one. Another clue. This is just basic stuff. But bottom line, a guy comes up with an idea and he starts sharing it with their family and friends. Now, Henry Ford said this too. How do you, in this book, guess what all 500 people said would have been the #1 key to their failure? Listening to family and friends. So Henry Ford went to his family and his friends and said, listen, I'm going to build automobiles. What do you think? And they go, you're an idiot. So he did it. There's some people in this room that are going to go to people and go, listen, I'm thinking about starting my own business, and they're going to say no, and you're going to go, okay. Read this book. Does that make sense? So now the next thing you see here is finally you find some people that will believe you. And they're vice presidents. Then you got national, regional managers, and then local managers. And then finally down here you got employees. Now how many people know that we have more employees than owners? And how many people think that to continue to stay that way? So please understand that we're taught how to be successful, every one of you. Remember, all you got to do is go out and get good, and then go out and get a good job. Yeah, you guys know. You guys already went to my same school. And then all of a sudden you look at what we're told to do is start at the bottom and work our way up. And as you work up, how many people know that as soon as you get in the middle, you're waiting for someone to what? Retire, die, or get fired? Real, three really positive things, right? And how many people, I know some people in this room that have tried to climb this corporate ladder, and when it doesn't work, they go to another company. And then they go to another company. Does anyone know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over, expecting a different result. Everyone that's watching this right now, I'm telling you right now, you want one or more of the 5 areas in your life to change. You'd like your spiritual life, your physical life, your mental life, your social life, and your financial life changed. You just don't want to do anything. And a president just got elected after a year of campaigning on what? Change. How many people think that it should be the time of personal responsibility? Why? Because very simply, we were taught this, and all major corporations use this, don't they? Even Gano Excel on a corporate level uses that. Now, what is this shaped like?